Southwest Florida. I am so thrilled to wrap up this segment of the show with the greatest of all times, the GOAT. I used to dunk on him at the gym, but he won't let me. He won't let me get away with it. No. Dr. Derrick Donnell, man, let's just go with this. Candidate for Lee County School District 7, also Councilman Donnell, former councilman of the city of Cape Coral. Yes, so you got some politics in your background, right?
Yes, sir.
With that, having been a councilman, do you think there's some transferable skills that would go over to you being a good school board representative?
Oh, most definitely, most definitely.
Elaborate.
In that being, when you have issues, and there are issues that impact the community, to a vote that gets really emotionally charged. And then what the experience taught me being at Cape is that there are competing qualifying sides on both sides. So what I'm able to do is to really just look at both sides and to clearly articulate to both sides what we're going to answer. Because at the end of the day, you either have to go left or go right. It's either yes or no. So just like being a referee in a basketball game, you have to be able to clearly articulate, this is why we're voting the way that we're doing, and this is how, even though you think it might not positively impact you, this is how it will.
Where is District 7?
This is one of the seats that were voted on upon the voters, one of 2 at-large seats.
Okay.
So there's District 6 and there's District 7, which covers the entire county. So that's what I'm running for, one of the at-large seats.
I see. Now, is that the 2-term seat, the 2-year seat?
No, District 6 is the 2-term seat to start.
2 years.
2 years, and then it'll be on a rotation for 4 years. Mine is District 7, and it starts for 4 years.
Okay, flat 4.
Yes, sir.
Countywide.
Countywide.
Okay, man. Now, why did you decide that you wanted to be a school board member?
That's a great question. What happened was that during my last term on Cape Coral City Council, I was approached by many of the residents to talk about thinking about what my next move was. And I guess in the political area, the step up from Cape Coral City Councilman would be county commission. But then I was thinking, I have a lot to do about education. That's just my passion. And I was having some people start to talk to me about, let's talk about that.
And you work in the education system now.
Yes, I currently do. So what made me think about, so I started looking at what was happening and listening to what the school board was doing. It was really clear to me when I looked at it that there's a gap between communication between the board and the community. And so that was what I was able to do to fill in Cape Coral, and I certainly can bring those skills to bridge the gap for the community between the community at large and the school board.
When can people vote?
I need everyone to get out there on August the 30th. That's the primary.
Okay.
Now, everybody's focused on the presidential piece, that's fine, but the primary, there are a number of people in the field, both in 6 and my District 7, so I have to get through the primary first, which is August 30th.
Okay. Now, when people vote for Dr. Derrick Donnell, what can they expect to get?
My forte is to be upfront and be honest about everything. Understand that all the votes are always about the data and the information. So they can know that I will have studied it, I would have had conversations, and that vote is solid. It's not something that I'm just feeling like it's me, but it will come from having a conversation with the community, and most of all the data that supports it.
When you were selected in 1999 as the Golden Apple winner recipient teacher, and I saw your picture in the paper and I saw them talking about you, I felt so proud that I actually knew a Golden Apple recipient. I say that to say, because you are in the community, we can actually touch and know somebody who actually receives a Golden Apple. Tell us about your community involvement.
Thank you for that question. I'm everywhere. Outside of just having been a former councilman and now being in the school district and at the FSW, I'm also a basketball referee. And not only for the high schools, but we have all the little pee-wee leagues and they have all kind of leagues that happen, and I referee those, and it's a great time to see the children because they're there and I get to talk to the children and the parents. Additionally, I do some DJing and play a little music, so I'm there helping out, and there's events that I provide music for, and it's just been something I've been around doing for 20 years.
And a member of Kappa Alpha Psi.
And you just stole my thunder. And last but certainly not least, part of the AA Psi.
Always have to slide it in, folks.
That's right. That's right.
Phi Beta.
Well,
but we work good together. Now, yes. Let's go to you actually being a school teacher, you working in a school district in different capacities, and having been a Golden Apple Award recipient. and now poised to set on the Lee County School District Board 7. What about all of that mixture of things makes you uniquely qualified?
Unique with that is I've really traveled the gamut from K all the way through 20. When I mean 20, I mean higher education. So I've seen it from the inside, grassroots. I don't believe, I haven't really studied, but I don't think anyone comes to this particular race with my credentials as far as actually been there at ground zero from K through 12, K through 20. This position is about K-12. Having served as a teacher and a basketball coach and as an administrator, I literally do know the system inside out. Now, do I have everything? No, but it's nothing you can say to me and just kind of go over my head and gloss over. So I'm able to give that specific quality look at information.
Okay, your hallmark has always been open door policy, talk to you, people can reach you, you're not sitting in some ivory tower. When you're deliberating over a big school district like this, you still think you're gonna be able to keep that down-home touch?
Well, yes, sir, I certainly hope, again, not about talking. I always tell my children, it's about actions. So that's exactly what I hope that people can look at my record and see with the city of Cape Coral. I'm a go-to person. So I just met someone this morning and we were talking about issues in the school board. So before a vote, because I'm intertwined with the community, we're having those conversations. Okay, well, what are you thinking about this issue? What do you think about this issue? And I'm still going to continue to be me. Most people know me as Big D, and I will never change. So that touch you talked about is imperative.
Now, we can't sit here right now and decipher all of the issues, the positives and the negatives of the Lee County School District. But what we can say is, hey, Dr. Derrick Donnell, what are the two issues that are most prevalent to you that you'd like to see changed in the Lee County School District, and how would you go about that? Go.
What I would like to see changed, number one, is we have to retain our teachers. A highly effective effect, we have to retain them. Notice I didn't say recruit. There are not great teachers here, and I don't know about you. Well, I'm pretty sure I do know about you. You ask someone, well, what do you remember? Do you remember, who's your favorite teacher? Everybody has one. And then you say, well, what is it? Interestingly enough, they never really tell you they want to talk about the scapular, the subscapular muscle. It's about how they made them feel and what they instilled in them. So if we retain those teachers, then that's going to be step one. That gets us to step two. See, there's a problem with our reading levels in a certain segment of our children. We have to be focused on making sure that all of these students can read. If they can read at the grade level, then that will help them be successful and move forward. So those are the two, and I think that by having a conversation with the board to set policy for the superintendent, because we're going to have to be a little bit more creative and hybrid models to address specific reading level needs.
Final question. How do you go about winning friends, building consensus, and getting things done?
How do I go about building friends, getting things done? It's just like this, one-on-one conversation. Having that one-on-one, I'm a one-on-one person. People can contact me now, they do call me now. I go there, we talk about issues, have an open mind. I don't go in there and talk and tell people what to, top down, but it's more so on a linear progression. So my information's there, my phone number's there, everything about me is public, so I am who I am.
Dr. Donnell, it's always a pleasure to get you on the show. Hope to get you back in the future, okay?
You betcha.
All right, stay right there. As the saying goes on this particular show, for those who say it can't be done, they're usually interrupted by those like Dr. Derrick Donnell, who is a candidate for Lee County District 7, who are doing it. We'll see you next week right here on the award-winning Lee Pitts Live.
Lee Pitts Live is a Lee Pitts Enterprise production.